Holy cow. Wow. That, that's a good one. That is potent. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, all right, I've got an impromptu video for you today, and it was something I planned on doing anyways, but I can't wait. I just walked into the warehouse and one of our newest fragrance oils from our raised garden collection was just filled into bottles today. And I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna tell you which one yet, I will when we get to it, but it has overtaken the warehouse. Now it's temporary, but holy cow, yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll just leave it at that for now. I can't wait to talk about it with you. So today you're gonna come with me on a little trip down one of our aisles, our newest fragrance release collection, which is the Raised Garden collection. And this collection means a lot to me because growing up, my grandparents always had a big garden, and both of them passed away in the last few years. And I spent a lot of time with them, particularly all summer with them. And we spent a lot of time in the garden helping out. So I've been wanting to do this collection since we started selling fragrance oils. And so I've spent a lot of time curating these, going through revisions and trying to get them right. Not just the ones we chose, but making sure they spoke to me the way I was envisioning them. I want them to perform well. I want them to hit the spot for as many of you as possible. And I get it, a collection like this, it isn't for everyone, right? It's very, very heavy themed collection, the Raised Garden, right? So it's not gonna necessarily work for everyone's candle line. Regardless, even if that is you or think it's you, watch this video, enjoy it with me. Let's talk about these fragrances because it was a lot of fun and a lot of work to put this one together. And I gotta say real quick, if you've never used some interesting fragrances or have a fun collection as part of your brand, part of your theme, you're missing out. Customers love it. It's a way to be creative and let go and just do something unique and different and fun. You don't always have to be just kind of buttoned up on brand. You can have a fun, playful collection. Now, I would say you want to brand it in a way that works for your business, but having something like this for summer or for a heavy themed collection like this for some of your customers will love this. They will. Customers like this theme better than candle makers do because they relate to it. There's nostalgia to it. So I really, really enjoyed this collection. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. I hope you enjoyed this little video as we talk about these. I just wanted to share my enthusiasm for them and try to encourage you to give them a shot. So as I mentioned, we're gonna go through each of these, but I'm not gonna spend a ton of time, deep dives, going into all the note profiles. You guys can see that on the website. There's gonna be other makers on their channels and places in the Facebook groups talking about the note profiles. A lot of these are great mixers as well. But I just want to at least introduce you to each one and give you the overall vibe of it because I think that's plenty good enough for something like this. So with that being said, I forgot to mention there's actually 18 fragrance oils in this collection. Now that is by far our largest single release for one individual fragrance collection. I think our largest before was 12, if I remember, and then most of them are somewhere between 6 and 8. So this not only was a difficult one to curate, but also a very large one. So it really took a lot of time. If you are interested in trying any of these, you can do that on the website. However, we did put together a Raised Garden Discovery Kit. Allows you to get a 2-ounce sample of each one of these for a discounted price. I think you end up getting roughly 4 of the oils for free if you purchase the Discovery set, if you want to try them all. Now, there are a couple that are crazy, and I can't wait to get to them. So we're gonna start off with the first one, which is Beetroot. And we're gonna go in alphabetical order. This is in no particular order other than, well, yes it is, it's alphabetical, but they're not in order of favorite or anything like that. So Beetroot is number 1. Now, I wanted a good balanced mix of, there's some herbal ones, there's some vegetable ones, there's some fruit involved, there's a lot of earthy, there's some woodsy notes, there's some refreshing and some aromatic notes. There's a good variety here. So just keep in mind that while all of these are part of a theme and gonna be sort of similar in that regard, they're all unique fragrances and they're all gonna have different balanced note profiles. So the first one, like I said, is Beetroot. Now, I gotta tell you, at first, this was probably like my least favorite because I'm not a fan of beets, but it's actually really nice. It is the actual like beet smell, but again, it's got some of that kind of fresh picked beet, like garden smelling beet, not like just a sliced beet in your salad. And it's just very homey and welcoming. I mean, it literally feels like I'm at my grandma's house and they loved beets. And my grandma in particular loved beets. They made pickled beets all the time, which again, I'm not a fan of, but it still reminded me of them and I just feel like I had to have it as part of the collection. So number 1, Beetroot. That's good. All right, next up, we have the bell pepper. And this one, I mean, I think any grandpa is probably a big fan of peppers, and this isn't the only pepper fragrance we have, but this one is that true. I mean, I feel like every single meal we had, there was sliced bell peppers. Green, red, yellow, orange, it didn't matter. If it wasn't in a salad, if it wasn't fried or sauteed, then it was just sliced fresh, ready to eat. So I definitely had to have a bell pepper fragrance. Wasn't a big fan growing up of bell peppers like a lot of kids aren't, but as I became older, I started to like them. And that's exactly what it smells like to me. I don't know if I could tell you the difference between each one of the colored bell peppers, but I mean, I smell this and all I think about is a green bell pepper. I mean, it smells exactly like it. It's so good, so good. All right, so here we have one of our, I would say, more fresh and aromatic ones, more kind of calming and soothing. It's cucumber mint. And I just whacked my nose. Real quick to mention, a lot of times if I'm smelling a brand new fragrance oil from somewhere else, I'll use blotter strips and dip those in, let them dry down a little bit. But I'm already familiar with these oils. Like, I already know what they smell like. So I'm just smelling straight out of the bottle. And what I like about this one is it's a good balance of both cucumber and mint. For me, it's a pretty 50-50 mix. I really, really love the freshness of cucumbers. We eat more cucumbers at my house than probably any other vegetable. And that includes whether we pickle them, because everyone in my house loves pickles. We eat fresh cucumbers like they're candy. We slice them, we make vinegar cucumbers. We eat cucumbers all the time. So I had to have a cucumber fragrance. It was one of my favorite vegetables growing and helping with as I was younger. We still do them on my raised garden today. But I like the addition of a little bit of mint too, so it wasn't just kind of a standard, just basic cucumber. I wanted something a little bit extra. Now, what's a garden without some type of flower, right? And so we wanted like a wild flower type fragrance. Flowers that would either grow around the garden bed, ones that might have its own flower bed, which is what this one's called, the flower bed. And so we wanted some kind of floral to go along with this collection as well. And what I like about this one is it's a good variety of violets and jasmine, and it reminds me of wildflowers. In fact, we almost called it that. We almost called it wildflowers. It reminds me of just outdoor wildflowers around a garden, out in the yard. I love most florals. I'm different in that regard. A lot of people are kind of turned off by florals. I absolutely love florals. I've always been a big fan of them. There are a few fragrances that I don't love when it comes to florals, but for the most part, I really enjoy most of them. And this one is different than the other ones we have. We have some amazing florals. Rebel Rose, Dark Dahlia is probably our best-selling fragrance oil after the Bandit. We have so many good ones. We have a wild honeysuckle, but this one is definitely different than those. This is more earthy, this is more dirty. You know what I mean? This is a group of wildflowers. All right, so this next one I was super excited for. It's one of my all-time favorite fragrances of any kind, whether it's candles or being outside, just period. And I actually made a post a couple months back, I just finished mowing my yard and I put a picture up and I said, who's interested in a fresh cut grass fragrance? And you guys just went nuts about it. You loved the idea. Like I said, I've always been a fan. I already knew I was gonna be doing this. We probably spent more time and revisions on this one, along with maybe one or two other ones, than the rest of the oils, because I want it to be not just right, because there's a lot of different grass smells, but right to me, like what I was going for. This one, so we actually, spoiler alert, we actually have two fresh cut grass fragrances. And this is the first one. This is one I would say is more true to a classic fresh cut grass scent. And so I definitely wanted that one. The other one, totally different vibe, totally different feel and smell. We'll talk about that one when we get to it, but I freaking love fresh cut grass. And it is so good. I can't, might be my favorite one, but I'm biased because I've always loved this fragrance. It is so good. You guys have got to try it. It'll fit in so many themes and collections. It's a great mixer too. Guys, you got to try this one. It's awesome. Unless, of course, you hate the smell of fresh cut grass. Then probably don't. All right, so next up we have the Fresh Fig. Now this one's interesting because I wanted a fig fragrance, and I really loved growing up eating like fig Newtons, and it does have some of that fruity fig smell that like you would be accustomed to with a dessert or a cookie like a fig Newton, but it's more earthy, it's more fresh. It's like actual fresh fig. And this one took a few iterations as well. It's definitely more on the gourmand side than most of these other fragrances. I mean, my son smelled it and knew exactly what it was. He was like, what's that like fruit-filled cookie? I was like, a fig Newton? He goes, that's it. So that's what he smells. I smell more of like a earthy gourmand, but it's definitely fig. And if you're looking for a summer gourmand fragrance, you got to try this. It's not all gourmand. It's got some of that earthy and woodsy notes as well, but it's really, really good. Okay, so this next one, actually I'm gonna turn my hat back around because I feel like a rebel for this one. This is the one that when I walked in the warehouse, I reacted the way I did because this one is intense. It's garlic and onion. We actually call it the garlic onion. And I just felt like for fun, we had to throw this in. It's intense, it's unique, it's sort of a novelty. Like, this is a fun one. You've got to try it. It really smells like you're cooking in your kitchen. It smells like you're using garlic powder and onion powder. All I think about is my grandpa with this one. Loved garlic and onion. I actually like the smell of onion, just not the taste of them, but garlic and onion powder, I mean, it was a staple, and it probably is a staple for most of you guys as well. It's overwhelming. So as a fair warning right now, use a little bit. If you normally use 9% fragrance load, let's try like 5 and call it good. Seriously, you gotta test it and try it out. But I feel like having something like this that was just crazy and off the wall was just really fun to do. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Buy a small bottle if you wanna have something fun and release something crazy in your collection. It smells amazing, like it does. It's just really, really strong and it takes over. But my gosh. Oh God, if you smelled this, you would have no idea it's an oil. You would 100% assume that someone was holding a bottle of garlic onion powder underneath your nose. It smells like you're cooking in the kitchen. Now, again, no coincidence that it's right next to the other crazy one in the collection, but it's alphabetical. And that is the hot pepper patch. Very different than the green peppers or the bell pepper that we had earlier. I was going for something that smelled like cayenne or jalapeno or habanero. I wanted something spicy, something hot. And we went through a lot of iterations on this one as well until we got it right. And if you don't like the smell of hot peppers, holy cow, oh geez. By the way, if you ever have a hard time getting these caps off, first of all, it's normal. A lot of fragrance oils and caps, changing weather conditions, hot to cold, they will kind of tighten sometimes on the bottle and become really difficult to get off. Use something with a grip to get it off, or run it under a little hot water to loosen up a little bit. That usually does the trick. Because yeah, seriously, some of them can be pretty tough to get off the first time. But we use, you gotta be careful with this one. All of our oils are measured by weight, not volume. So everything's 1 pound in this, for example, or 8 ounce or 2 ounces. So some of them are filled right to the brim. So be really careful. This one is an example of that, filled right up to the brim. Now we use these polycone caps, which help from leaks. And so that's the kind of caps we use. And anyways, I don't know what I mentioned that. I have hot pepper fragrance on my hands, which if you think about it, you should treat the same way as you would actual pepper juice on your hand. It can burn your nose and your eyes, so be careful. So when I tell you that this smells like hot peppers, guys, it couldn't be more accurate to that. It smells like actual fresh chopped hot peppers, a mixture of a few different ones. And you can smell the burn. Like you can actually smell the spice. It'll tingle your nose. Another kind of crazy, fun, novelty, intense one, but I'm telling you, there's gonna be customer bases out there that love this. And if you've got anyone who lives on a farm out in the country, grows their own gardens, does a lot of home cooking, grandparents, whatever, I'm telling you, they are going to love something like this, and it's so unique and creative. Give it a shot. But be careful. I mean, you've been warned. All right, big change here. We have one more floral, and this is called the Lavender Bloom. Remember, this collection is the raised garden, so we went with spices, herbs, vegetables, fruits, and things that you would actually find in a raised garden. Flower or lavender is one of those examples. So Lavender Bloom is a pretty traditional, straightforward lavender, but if you're familiar with most of our fragrances, we don't try to do anything that's just too straightforward, too boring. Everything has our little twist on it, a little bit of a twist, our version on it. And so I'll be biased. This is one of my favorite lavender fragrances, like true lavender fragrances. There's other lavender blends. We have a lavender sunflower, very different, very different. This is pretty much your typical lavender, but if you're looking to explore a new lavender fragrance, I think you'll really enjoy this one. Quick little backstory, for years, and I mean like a decade plus, I've never liked the smell of lavender. To me, it always reminded me of kitty litter. It had that just very artificial, powdery lavender smell, and I'm just not a big fan. So over the years, I've changed a little bit on that, and I do start to like lavender a lot more, especially if it's blended. But individually, this is one of my favorite lavenders I've ever smelled. So if you're looking for another lavender, another floral for summer, give this one a go. All right, I told you we had 2 grass type fragrances. Fresh cut grass, classic, staple, freaking awesome. We also went with another very unique, different take on a grass fragrance. This one we call the Lush Acre. Now you might be wondering, hold on, raised garden, There's no grass in a garden now, but it's part of the vibe, right? It's part of the theme. So raised gardens sit on fresh cut grass or on grass. And so we wanted some grass fragrances, but you'd also put a raised garden and flower bed on acreage, right? Now it might be small acreage, but nevertheless, we wanted to represent the big picture, the big field, the actual acre that everything is sitting on. So this one is a very kind of fresh grass type fragrance, but there's more going on. You get a little bit of eucalyptus. So think of a big open acre of grass, maybe there's some fruit trees, maybe you're getting a breeze, like a garden breeze coming through as well. I'd say this one's a little bit more of a brighter take on a grass fragrance. Love it. Actually, this one's growing on me a lot. At first, I liked it, but I definitely preferred the other one. And now they're like neck and neck. They're just different. And so if you're looking for a fragrance like this, try them both. I'm not sure which one you're gonna like better, to be honest, because they're like neck and neck for me now. I really love this one. All right, next up is the minted basil. Sort of like the cucumber mint, it's a good balance. You're getting basil, you're getting mint. This one's more mint than the cucumber mint is. This one reminds me a little bit more of like an earthy spa type fragrance. So it's very aromatic. It's like aromatherapy type fragrance, but still grounded, right, and earthy. Very much fits the theme, but a different take. It's just a little bit more refreshing and aromatic. If you were looking for something to try out of this collection, and most of these are not your style, your type, you're not looking for something too earthy or woodsy or spicy or herbal or too intense, too gardeny, then you still might want to try this one and give this a shot, because this will fit in any kind of theme or vibe. All right, so this next one was another really fun one to work on, but pretty challenging. It's called the Planter's Box. So we were actually wanting to make a fragrance of the raised garden bed itself. Now, a lot of beds are made out of all different composites and materials. We were going for that like true timber, cedar, pine box that makes up a raised garden bed, a natural one. Well, the reason this is challenging is because there's a lot of different ways you can go with cedar and pine, and we have some great cedar fragrances and pine fragrances already. We wanted this one to be different, and we're trying to make sure like this kind of smells like that bed, right? Not just like a forest. So this was a little bit difficult to do. What I did was, after coming up with several different versions to try out, I actually went out to, we have cedar, well, ours are both. We have both pine and cedar. And I actually literally went out to them and just started smelling them. And I was like, how can I take this smell but make it stronger, intensify it? Maybe add in some earthy notes and some dirt notes, because part of the raised garden bed isn't just the cedar or the pine, it's some of the dirt, it's some of those garden smells that go along with it. And I think that's what we got. So another interesting take. Now remember, we named these based off the theme of this fragrance collection, the Planter's Box. We could have called it the Cedar Box or the Pine Box or Cedar and Pine. The point is you can rename these to whatever you want. Fit your brand, fit your theme, fit your fragrance. We put in these product descriptions what the scent notes are and basically what it smells like, but we have fun with it and we make themes out of them. But you don't have to use these names. In fact, I really wouldn't use these names. I would name it so it fits your theme and vibe. So if the Planter's Box doesn't sound appealing to you, look at the notes, look at the description, think of it as cedar and pine, and you might be looking for another one of those to add to your collection. Really good one, I love it. Next up we have Root and Stalk. And this one is supposed to be sort of that carrot and celery stick fragrance, right? We almost called it veggie sticks, but I liked root and stalk. So the root being the carrot, the stalk being the celery. Now I will say a little bit more on the celery side, but burning you get both. But out of the bottle, I definitely detect more celery than anything. But you can obviously tell that the carrot root is there as well. And this was just a fun one. How do you have a raised garden collection and not have carrot and celery in there, right? So root and stalk, we combined them into one. I really love the name. This is probably my favorite name of all the fragrances. Yeah, the root and stalk. So if you're interested in something that smells like a little bit of celery, a little bit of carrot, give this one a shot. There's not really much more to say on this one. It's just fun. Then we have rosemary, thyme. Both of these are fairly common, I would say, when it comes to fragrances in the candle industry, more so thyme. But we're looking to mix a couple herbs and spices together as part of the raised garden collection. So we decided to combine rosemary and thyme together. And I would say there's definitely more rosemary in this one because it's less common out there. And so we wanted to add a twist, right? We wanted something a little bit more heavy on the rosemary side. Now, I'm not a huge fan of rosemary, including cooking with it. I just never have been. Well, a lot of people are. And I think if you enjoy cooking with rosemary and you like the smell of it, you got to give this one a shot as well. And it was perfect for this theme, perfect for this collection. And again, just all of these are they're all just nostalgic and they're all just so refreshing smelling. Like I just loved working on this collection. I'm probably boring you with how much I'm saying this, but even something I wouldn't normally like think I'd love that much, you know, rosemary thyme, it's like whatever, but I actually really like it a lot. I would burn this a lot. So now we're getting to really our only true fruit, I guess, the way most people think of it, and that's the sun-ripened strawberry. Raised gardens don't have a lot of fruit in them generally, so normally you have tomatoes, which a lot of people still think is vegetables, but whatever, I digress. And then we had the fig, but this is like your true kind of typical fruit. It's like the only really common fruit grown in a raised garden, so we had to have it. Struggled with this one too, and the reason is most strawberry fragrances, and I'm sure most of you can attest to this, smell very artificial. They smell very candy-like, and a lot of them smell like watermelon. And I think we went through at least a dozen or 15 iterations to get this one the way we liked it. Now, I should clarify, we have some other ones that we like a lot, but they're mixed with something else. Like they're a great fragrance for like another purpose, another collection, but we wanted something that was mostly just strawberry. And this is what we got, sun-ripened strawberry. It's great. It smells like strawberries. It doesn't smell, again, a lot of fruit ones can have that kind of almost tangy, artificial candy-like fragrance. And you might still think that's what this smells like because it's pretty normal. Most fruit fragrances smell better when they're burning. But to me, this is by far the best, truest, most like authentic smelling strawberry that I've ever smelled. I've never really used strawberry fragrances because they're all just too fake smelling, like too artificial. I don't like it. I love this one. It's really, really, really good. 3 left. Sunlit Sage. To me, this is in the same ballpark as the minted basil, cucumber mint, maybe the rosemary thyme, but it's our lightest fragrance. In my experience, you might get different results, but it's supposed to be. This is like just using a little bit of fresh sage. It's very calming, it's very aromatic. To me, it kind of, I don't know why, it kind of reminds me of like when I'm camping. I don't know why, but just sitting outside, that's the smell I think about a little bit. Kind of reminds me of like a citronella a little bit, but like in a good way. This one was a must-have, gotta have. It's not super original when it comes to the fragrance community or candle making, and that's tomato vine. A lot of suppliers have a tomato vine type fragrance, and they all smell a little bit different to me. Like you can all tell they're supposed to be the same thing. You can all tell what they are, but they're all got their own nuances. I really like them all, but I wanted something that to me smelled a little bit more vine. And we went back and forth out. Now again, all tomato plants, they can smell wildly different. So this tomato vine might not be anything like the one you're used to that you're using from another supplier. I have no idea. But we really enjoyed this one. And when we went through 10 or so different tomato vine options, trying to figure out like what we liked, and finally put one together, this is the one we decided on. I like this one because it's definitely tomato, it's definitely vine, but to me, it's a little bit more fresh and earthy. Like I can actually like smell like picking the tomatoes. I feel like this is a pretty good balance. So again, so many options out there. If you're looking to try another one, just give this one a shot. But if you don't like this one as much as others, it's fine. It's no hard feelings. I'm kidding. All right, and my favorite fragrance of the batch. And when I say favorite, it's not because I necessarily like it the best. I would probably lean towards the grass ones. Those are my favorite. But this one is so good and so accurate. I can't wait for you guys to try this. Look, even if you don't want to carry this, you just get a 2-ounce sample just to try it because I need you to understand how great this is. I'm not being modest at all. Now, anyways, fresh garden. You've got your grass, you've got your flowers, you got all of your herbs and spices, vegetables and fruits. It's not a garden without soil. And this one's called topsoil. And when I tell you, this is the truest, most dirt topsoil smell I have ever smelled, I mean it 100%. Now, we have a fragrance that is like a petrichor type fragrance. We call it the graveyard. It's like wet dirt, stone, earthy, kind of dark and mysterious. A lot of petrichor fragrances out there. This one is not the same. This one smells like you went to Lowe's or Home Depot or your garden center and cut open a bag of actual topsoil and were planting with it in your flower bed, in your raised garden. I'm telling you, God, it is so accurate. Like, this one makes me so happy. This one makes me so freaking happy. It is so dirty. And I mean that in the best way possible. You've got to try this one. It's not a raised garden without dirt, and I'm telling you, we nailed it. I'm not even gonna be bashful about it. I get so excited about this one. I talk about it all the time. I know a lot of people have already been waiting for it, So it's here, come get it. All right guys, that wraps up the whole collection. 18 fragrance oils in one collection. That's crazy, that's crazy. It was a lot of work, but a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Check out the website. Look at any of these that interest you the most, but if you're not sure and you just want to try them all, then just get the Discovery set. Try it out. If nothing else, it's a fun experience, but I do think there's a place for fragrances like this in every brand. Do a summer theme, do a garden theme, do a home and country theme, do a grandparents theme. Whatever you want to do, the options are limitless. Just find a way to work it into your brand and don't sleep on something like this. I don't care if you're a luxury brand and everything is about modern, clean, sophisticated, luxury smells, fine fragrances, perfume, like that's great. There's a place for something like this. Have fun with it. Find a way to make a luxury, like this new way of gardening now with hydroponics and doing like wall plants and raising gardens inside your home. There's so many ways that you can work this into like modern living. And I just think that you should give it a shot and don't sleep on it just because it's called a garden theme. That's enough me trying to sell it. Anything you guys might need to know regarding these oils, Black Tie Barn, resources to candle making and candle business, they're all in the description below. So head down there, check out those links, check out these fragrances, and keep in mind we've got 100 other fragrances to check out as well. Spring and summer theme that we released a couple months ago has been killing it, so there's that option as well. That being said, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel as well. We talk a lot about candle making, running a candle business, other things of that nature. Love to have you around for future videos. With that in mind, hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for digging in with me into the Raised Garden collection. Oh God, that's cringy. All right, I'll see you guys later.